Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another edition of Hilaal Live. My name is Luqman Shadrack, all the way from the Cape Town studios. Jummah Mubarak to you and your loved ones. I hope you all had a wonderful Friday. And as it is Friday, we always let you know what's happening in and around our beautiful city. Now, we're very excited to be part of an event that's happening this weekend in Cape Town. But no fret, if you're not in Cape Town, we are going to bring the event live to you on our channel. And to tell us more about this wonderful event, the founders and owners of Spice Mecca, Uncle Shareef and Auntie Shamilla Abbas. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. And
Jazakallah so
assalamu
much.
alaikum to the listeners.
Jazakallah so much for coming into studio. I know it's so much to do with the expo, the Souk rather, that is happening very, very soon. For those of our viewers that don't know too much about the history of the Spice Mecca Ramadaan Souk, and it's now called the Souk series. Uncle Shareef, tell us a bit more.
Well, Shamilla and myself, I mean, we are the founders of Spice Mecca, and we've been doing this together for 30 years, and we're still at it. And I would say half of that time, about 15 years, we've been running Ramadan events and Ramadan for all and Ramadan expos. And you know all about that because we've done it so many times at Newlands Cricket Ground, at the Good Hope Centre, at the Castle of Good Hope for many, many years. So there is a long history of Ramadan events. What we have done is that, we've looked at the quality of the event. We've looked at how can we give more value in a more authentic setting. You know, when you think about Spice Mecca, you think about authentic spices. But when you think about Spice Mecca during the month of Ramadan, it's an authentic Ramadan event. When you come there, you do all your pre-Ramadan purchases. The apparel that is available is focused on Ramadan. The foods that's served, I mean, it's
not focused on Ramadan.
No. But it's a cook easy.
It's focused on enjoyment before and after.
Before and after.
That's well said.
That's well said. But the cook easy lifestyle, that is what I was getting to. That, Shamilla is just the guru around food. And she's, done so many good formulations and recipes that can tantalize the tummy.
Of course.
But we are so excited. The event kicks off tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. It will be the official launch of the event. However, people are abuzz at the venue right now and getting the tents up and the Moroccan tents, the Bedouin tents, the marquees, and all of that is being constructed at this moment in time. So everybody at Spice Mecca, and as we were pulling out of the gate to come to the studio, we couldn't get out because there were dozens and dozens of cars coming to set up for tomorrow.
And it's such a wonderful sight to witness, to see, because it's also the bringing together of entrepreneurs like yourselves that started so many years ago that inshallah could, escalate their business to where Spice Mecca is one day, inshallah, and partnering with like-minded people. Giving them that opportunity is so integral. Is it part of your plan that you've had, Uncle Shareef?
Well, absolutely. The focus for the vendors is about assisting them, developing them, giving them the head start. So when we price our stands, it's priced way under market cost. It's about accessibility. But at the same time, the organizers that work with us, they try to do a beautiful mix to keep it fresh, but at the same time to maintain the standard. When you come to our event, it's really world class. You were there this morning for you visited us and you saw the beautiful tents going up. So it's a different caliber of event entirely with a Ramadan focus.
But sorry, can I cut
No
in
problem.
there? As much as it's a different kind of event, we also want to have it as a homely event. It's like when the people start coming, I don't know how many people have said to me, "Oh, we're so happy that you're doing it there again," because you know what, they love coming and they meet their old friends, and every year they come and they all sit together, and believe me, the ladies love eating from the bobotie to the vermicelli, back to the faluda, and And they just love socializing
Of
there.
course. You know, the conversations that happen is absolutely priceless, because often enough we walk past and you catch on to a sentence or two that sparks your interest, and you automatically start getting engrossed in this conversation as well. And people don't mind, because it's all about bringing people together. Auntie Shamilla, you've been very instrumental in something called the recipe book, the Ramadan, the Spice Mecca Ramadan recipe book. That's been integral for years now. And it seems to have just evolved according to the spices, obviously from Spice Mecca, but the uniqueness of the recipes. How do you come up with all these wonderful tastes?
The funny thing is, it started off with many years ago when we decided we wanted to do a free recipe booklet.
Okay.
That is how it actually started off with. And we have a fantastic photographer, Alhamdulillah. And we were the first people where she did food shots, because she always did car and home and leisure and things. So we were actually her testing ground, and she was our testing ground.
Wow.
And Alhamdulillah, it's evolved so beautifully that she said she just loves doing food shots now. But I think it's about, I've always tried to look for the simplicity in a recipe. And I personally hate reading a biography to find the recipe.
And for a novice like myself that dabbles in the kitchen, I like to dabble with the recipe. I'm sure Uncle Shareef can attest as well.
Absolutely.
You know, with something that's not complicated.
Yeah. So I make sure everything is in order. It's a scientific experiment. A, B, C, D, E, and you get the method, and it's exactly in the A, B, C, D format.
But that's your food technology background. That helps as well.
I suppose.
For a lot of people that don't know, Auntie Shamilla is a food technologist, and that's where I suppose that lovely mix comes in as well. Do you find that people come to Auntie Shamilla and say, "I've tried this recipe at home; it was so easy. How can I elevate this even further?"
Oh no, I actually encourage people. I say, try the recipe as I give it to you.
Okay.
Then after that, add what you feel you're wanting to add. You might like a little bit more of cumin, or you like a little bit more chili or something. Make it your own. I'm giving you a baseline to work with.
Inshallah.
So create your, and I think that is what people love. In fact, there was I did a course through Darun Naeem a couple of years ago, and there was a young girl. She was married with one child, and she told me about her husband. When he's such a good husband, when he comes home at night, then he first starts cooking. And I said to her, "Now, where do you work?" She says, "No, I don't work. I'm a housewife." I said, "So you're a housewife and your husband comes from work and he comes to cook." So I said, "Do you know what? Imagine how much he will love you and appreciate you if he comes home and he smells your pot of food that you cook."
Inshallah.
And you know what? It's now a good couple of years later, and every time I bump into her, and she says, you know, I'm making this, I'm making that. And we just love it. And my husband just loves it. When he comes home, he wants to see what's the surprise.
Studied.
So it's about empowering people, encouraging them, simplifying food and recipes so that people are encouraged to do it. They mustn't look at something and say, "Oh no, that's too complicated."
Of course. And also you want to get the kids involved. You want to get everyone involved in the kitchen, because it becomes a family activity as well. Uncle Shareef, the business has evolved over the years, alhamdulillah. It's grown, it's a household brand now as well. I know that we primarily in the past specialized in the Western Cape, and then you've started reaching out to PE. How far is your reach now?
No, it's definitely a national brand. In major corporates, in most centers. I think our last port of call will be KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay, inshallah.
And inshallah,
tough market to crack.
Within the next few months, we will be entering that market. Inshallah. But I want to come back to, Shamilla and her formulations. She studied this thing back to front, and we source our products, from specific areas that give you a certain flavor and a certain aroma. So our recipes, there's a lot of science and technology that goes into it. But of course, she's an artist with food. And so the hard work is done. So we can, with our formulations, give absolutely authentic food that you can put on the table in a 1, 2, 3.
Does Uncle Shareef dabble in the kitchen? Do you rope him in? Has he tried?
I do.
Or is he the taste tester?
No, he passes the glass on to you.
Lovely. You've got to do what you're good at.
We got to do what we're good at.
What's nice about I like Spice Mecca, such a homely feel, staff, family, all intermixed in this
Yes.
event as well. It's become an iconic event in the calendar in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And everybody sets their alarms by the Spice Mecca Souk. And now it's
Absolutely.
called a series because it's over a couple of weekends
It's
as
over
well.
3 weekends, yeah.
Okay.
So we kick off tomorrow morning
Inshallah.
at 9 o'clock, the 24th and the 25th of February. But it will run for 3 consecutive weekends.
Lovely.
So the 2nd and the 3rd, exactly the same hours, Saturday 9 to 7
Right.
and Sundays 9 to 6. And then again on the 9th and the 10th
Inshallah.
will be the 3rd weekend. That is why we call it the Souk series,
Gotcha.
the Ramadan Souk series.
Brilliant.
Basically a series of events. But why we've done that? Because people are not always available.
Of course.
And so we're making different days.
Of course.
You know,
And there's a lot happening in Cape
There's
Town.
a lot happening. And but I must say, alhamdulillah, our events are well attended
Alhamdulillah.
simply because of the programs that we put together.
And we're going to get into that very soon.
Yes.
I'm going to go for an ad break very quickly,
Okay.
Uncle Shareef. Sorry to interrupt. So I'm chatting to Uncle Shareef and Auntie Shamilla Abbas from Spice Mecca. It's the Spice Mecca Ramadan Souk that's happening starting this weekend. We at Hilaal TV are very excited to be part of this event. And we encourage you to tune in during those times. But if you can't, and if you're in other parts of the world, you're welcome to tune in via www.hilaal.tv or channel 347 on DSTV. You are still watching Hilaal Live. Assalamu alaikum. Shukran so much for joining us on channel 347 on Hilaal TV or via our live stream www.hilaal.tv. It's the Hilaal Live, and I'm so blessed to have in studio legends of the Souk Market Expos, whatever you want to call it, in the Cape Town area. Uncle Shareef and Auntie Shamilla Abbas, shukran so much for coming in once again. Always lovely to chat to you guys. The event itself, I always like that Uncle Shareef has a special association with various NPOs, causes that is happening in around the world. What do we have this year, Uncle Shareef, that our audience can come and experience?
Yeah, well, you know, culture and education is always a very important component of our events. So educational stuff and cultural stuff. However, this year, you know, we always headline with lifestyle, fashion, culture, food. But this year, we've added another component.
Okay.
And that component is humanity.
Alhamdulillah.
It's all about humanitarianism. And, you know, the entry fee, which is minuscule, which is really a donation, just to get funds for humanitarian causes, is 10 Rand, and that all of that will be donated for humanitarian causes.
Inshallah.
But let me tell you, we're partnering with 3 organizations.
Okay.
The one being Hilaal TV,
Right.
with Mahmoud, you know, always wanting to work with us
Alhamdulillah.
because we've done so many events together that it is almost.
We need to get him in the kitchen. He's a chef of note, Auntie
I think we
Shamilla.
should put him on.
I
We
think
should
that's a
definitely
good
get him
idea.
in the kitchen and get him to do one of his
Well, we're gonna get-
specialities as well.
we
I
want-
could lose my job for this, but okay.
We want him to fly down and
Inshallah,
come get onto
inshallah.
the stage. So we're partnering with Hilaal over the 3 weekends, about 20 hours of airtime. Very substantial from a television perspective. And many of the programs that I'm going to outline to you, you know, will be aired. The second partner is Voice of the Cape, who's a radio media partner. They're giving us 50 hours
MashaAllah.
over the 3 weekends. So, you know, it's going to be profiled and many of these programs will be on there. Then the third organizational partner is Jamiatul Qura.
MashaAllah.
Very closely tied to this organization. Incidentally, I've been the chairman of that organization for well over 20 years.
I bumped into Auntie Shamilla last week at JQ's event as well.
Yes.
It was absolutely amazing. So well attended.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. And Uncle Shareef has a very close relationship
Very, very
with him.
close relationship there. The organization was started by Shamila's dad, Sheikh Yusuf Bulli, and that's how we got involved. But let me tell you about JQ's involvement and why I like working with them, because they innovative, you know, a bunch of young professionals, you know, wanting to do special things. And so what they've come up with is that over the weekend and virtually on every day, there'll be a segment on what we call Letters to Palestine.
Beautiful.
We want everybody in Cape Town to come to the event. Come to the event and come write a letter to Palestine from you and your family. We are saying to you, come write that letter, come do it for us. We'll pin it up onto this massive wall that we've prepared for all these letters to go on. And that you can frame. You know, we can take a photograph of it, you can frame it, and that is part of your legacy, and so that you can be on the right side of history in the future. So it's focused on the kids, but we want everybody, we want the moms, the dads, the aunties, all to come. And we are saying that we want to do 50,000 letters, before the start of Ramadan, and then we can do it. And Imran, the head of operations, was telling to me, he was telling Mr. Abbas, please, let us target in the first week of Ramadan 100,000 letters, and take these letters, collate them, put them together, publish them, and send them to the UN, send them to the British Parliament, send it to Biden, send it to the Palestinians, because we're really reaching out to them because we care so much. Absolutely. So that's one component. The second component is that you spoke earlier about conversations. Sure. People come to the event and they have conversations. We say the moment is for a serious conversation. We need to be talking about how do we develop strategies and implement these strategies around the concept of humanity. Right. How do we protect and save our children?
This could happen to us.
This could happen to us.
We could be in this very tomorrow. Same predicament.
Yeah. You know, some crazy president decides to start bombing South Africa. Yeah. You know, where do we stand?
Of course.
However, you know, we got to prepare ourselves mentally, intellectually, emotionally, in every way, you know, to empathize and to stand with the people that needs our help. And I think these conversations in terms of strategies and implementation of these strategies around children, around vulnerable women, around brave men,
of course,
you know, that's being oppressed.
Martyrs.
Martyrs. And of course, those that have passed on, you know, how do we have these conversations so that, you know, they talk about never again? We can't have this again.
Of course. And it shouldn't be happening in the first place.
And that's the second program that the JEQ has come up with. And I'm saying to these guys, you know, you guys are simply brilliant. And I want Cape Town to be part of this.
Inshallah.
I want Cape Town to be part of the Letters to Palestine. And then there is the third component the JEQ is coming with, is the launch of what they call the J Fund, which is the JEQ Fund, which much of the funds will be going to humanitarian causes, and one of them could be the reconstruction of Gaza.
Definitely.
You know, the needs of hospitals and educational centers, and that is something that they've spoken to me about. They want to go set up schools in Gaza, and this J Fund will do precisely that. So don't you think this is magnificent?
Of course. I think if anything, that's one of the reasons.
Where's it going to happen?
All happening at the Spice Mecca, Ramadan Souk. All happening from this weekend. I think if anything, that's just one thing to come through and celebrate at the Souk.
Yeah.
But we all know, Auntie Shamilla can agree with me, is the food, is where people are. It's not even the smell. It's just the idea that there's going to be food trucks and there's going to be vendors and there's going to be Auntie Shamilla's cooking. What are you doing this weekend for us, Auntie Shamilla? Your unique brand, your unique show.
We actually don't deviate from our menu.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, from the time when we first started, we didn't deviate because these people would come and say, you know what? We never make bobotie at home because you need to make a whole kilo and we two at home. So we don't make bobotie. Right. So every year we come and eat bobotie and yellow rice and beetroot with you.
Stunning.
And to accommodate the youngsters, we do the chicken wraps. Nice. We do the vermicelli and ice cream, which believe me,
I love that.
I think everybody that's there, they come back 2-3 times for 3 helpings.
Definitely. Do you remember years ago when we auctioned off a prawn at 10 Rand?
Yes.
We made that prawn curry. We auctioned it off at 10 Rand and we raised so much funds.
And you know, the funny thing was, it was just something that popped into my head. It wasn't planned because I thought, I'm making all these prawns as a demo. I need to serve the people that have attended. But there are so many people, who am I going to give and who am I not going to give? So let them pay 10 Rand for it and it's for a charity.
That was absolutely
I think,
amazing.
You know what, that's a brilliant idea.
We should
reactivate that again for the fund.
I think so too. I'm here to be at work. If you need a sous chef in the kitchen.
No. So you and Mahmoud, you know, you on the program.
The other aspect, very quickly before we end off, Uncle Shareef, is that there are various, we've got Khudam Islam that's going to be there.
Okay.
We've got various other people. A couple of minutes before we end off, the very special message that you would like to pass on to our viewers, why they should attend this event.
Well, because it's the authentic event prior to Ramadan. It's associated with Spice Mecca, and you know, all your Ramadan merchandise, you can get it there. Your pre-Ramadan apparel, even your Eid apparel, you can come get the bargains, because bargains will be in huge number.
Yes.
Then of course, why should they come?
The Black Hat Sale.
The Black Hat Sale.
But you see, they
if
have to come, because you know why? This is our way of saying thank you to the community that has supported us over the years. So they must come, because how else are we going to say thank you?
Of course. And they have to be there in
They
order
have
to
to be
qualify
there, exactly.
for the Black Hat Sale.
Absolutely. So
Right.
the Black Hat Sale will take place. Then there's the...
Do you have a new black hat every year, or is it the same black
You
hat?
know what? I bought that black hat in Paris at an Italian store. And so that's a Borsolini. That's what
Nice.
Al Capone wore.
That's it.
So, you know, when I don that Borsolini, you know what's going to happen.
For
And
sure.
we're going to discount, and we're going to
Nice.
give fantastic sales. But then again, you know, where else will you get the best cook sisters?
Of course.
Where else you're going to get the best
Yes.
faluda, the best buba? We've now just launched Ilachi milkshake.
Oh, wow.
The Ilachi milkshake drink. And so that's brand new, and I'm going to suggest that Shamilla puts that onto the menu as well.
Inshallah. I'll be your first customer, I can tell you that.
And then, of course, the chili bites and the dates, delectable dates, all of that is available in our new revamped Souk.
Alhamdulillah.
You know, every year we revamp it, we change, we chop down something, we put something new. So already we have plans for a brand new shop next year, but we've already revamped it this year to make it accessible, to make it more chic, to make it more, you know,
Available, just-
available to and accessible to
I think
everybody.
I like that as well, because it's in our community. You know, it's very central for people to come through. It's an iconic venue in the area as well. When you want to find directions to somewhere, you say, when you see Spice Mecca, you turn left. It's become one of those, right? So people know exactly where you are. Uncle Shareef and Auntie Shamilla, Jazakallah so much for coming into the studio, for always being part of our family at Hilaal TV, and for all your future projects. We wish you all the very best, and may it all grow from strength to strength, inshallah.
Shukran so much.
My absolute pleasure.
And thank you to the viewers for watching. We want you to be at the event. Some of you may be in Durban, Joburg.
They've got time to come to the next 2 weekends.
They can come
Exactly.
to the next 2 weekends.
Inshallah.
And I promise you it's going to be worth their while.
Inshallah.
Because they will never experience
Yes.
an event like this in
I
Joburg
agree.
or Durban.
I agree.
It all happens
I agree.
at Ramadan for all in Cape Town at Spice Mecca, 7
Alhamdulillah.
Induland Crescent. I want everybody to be there and support a worthy cause.
Alhamdulillah. Have a wonderful evening. You're going to need
Shukran.
your rest, because it's going to be a long
No,
weekend.
we're going to
Inshallah.
work now.
You're back to work.
No, we're going back to work.
Okay,
so
I'll come visit you guys for a cup of tea.
You
Inshallah.
please do.
Jazakallah so much. All the best.
Assalamu
Walaikum
alaikum.
salam.
Thank you.
That's
Luqman.
the very good people from Spice Mecca, Uncle Shareef and Auntie Shamilla. That's going to be at the Spice Mecca Ramadan Souk this weekend, and I hope to see you there. We're going to be there as well, broadcasting live for about 3-4 hours, inshallah. So do join us. After the break, it's our sports edition. Look out for that one. You are still watching Hilaal Live.